In this video, I want to analyse a little bit of Mark Knopfler's fantastic solo in Sultans of Swing and introduce to you how this is actually using shapes from the Cage system and arpeggios to choose the melodic notes that he's going for. There's also a bit of background that should help you be able to do some really cool stuff over not only this jam track, but anything where you want to add more chord-specific licks and lead lines into your playing, rather than just sticking just to one scale to play lead guitar, because that's what the best guitarists do and we should learn from it. And here's the reason why. The chord progression of Sultans of Swing by Dire Straits uses something called the Andalusian cadence, which basically is a descending pattern which is mostly in the key of D minor, and all the chords are compatible with the D minor pentatonic scale, except the A major chord, which suggests the D harmonic minor scale, but what Mark Knopfler tends to do is move to triads over the chord that he's playing over in the chord progression. And that's always your get out of jail free card once you know how to do this stuff. We can't just stay to minor pentatonic or even full major or minor scales for some chord progressions, and this is one of them. Other songs that use this chord progression, which is very famous, would be songs like Hit the Road Jack, even songs such as The White Stripes. Seven Nation Army uses a chord progression based on this same harmonic structure of the Andalusian chord progression or the Andalusian cadence. And that basically means that over most of this you could just use D minor pentatonic, shape 1, or D minor pentatonic, or D minor bass licks, until, and you can do that over every chord, until the A chord, when we've got to do something which says A major or A7. Otherwise it will clash, and here's the note that will clash. There's the natural minor note, and the chord is playing this note, and that will sound really bad. It basically sounds like this, when you've got two notes that are really close together but they're really harsh. So the exercise that I want to give you is first of all that one, ripped straight from the Sultans of Swing solo, and it is an A major arpeggio, which I believe Mark Knopfler plays here, even though he could play it here. And you could play it there too, because it's a lot easier position. But I believe Mark plays it down here, so let's look at this position first of all. All just taken straight from an A major bar chord, 7, 6, 5, 5, 9, 12, 13, 12. That's all saying A7 or A major. And then D minor, again, root 6 bar chord at 10, 10, 10, 10, 12. Or we could do it here using a C caged shape, and it's easier to play basically. It keeps everything in one position on the neck, which is the reason that's all the A, D minor, and that's the reason to learn this stuff, so that you can see that's A major, D minor. So we've got D minor pentatonic, shape 1. That's the familiar one that you all know. We can also play that same D minor pentatonic here. That's like shape 1. And all of that works great until the A7 chord when we want to. Or perhaps hit that 7, which is more like the arpeggios concept. That's more of an advanced thing. When you really delve into this stuff, it's more a dominant 7th arpeggios, basically. But that's all in the advanced lead guitar course. But that's what I'm going to be kind of demoing in the next jam track, which is the same Dire Straits style one, but we're going to be looking at how to play this from a lead point of view. And I want you to try things out is the main thing. Try just sticking to D minor pentatonic for the whole thing and make a melody out of it over this jam track. See how that sounds. Then try and focus in on D minor pentatonic or arpeggio triad chords like we did in the previous, like the rhythm jam track. But when it gets to that A, hit only A major triad notes. And see the impact that that has for yourself. Hear the difference. There'll be an example solo, but please just play along to the visual jam track so you can see what chord's happening each time. And then sometimes go for this kind of thing, sometimes more just pentatonic, and sometimes more influenced by Mark's solo itself, but you'll have to change it a little bit because we've changed the chord progression. It's not just about the key of the song, it's about the chord progression specifically you're playing over, and this is a good one. Plenty of examples of great songs with this chord progression. Let's have a go. So here's the Sultans of Swing style jam track that I'd like to have a go at playing lead guitar over. A few different ideas to try out. We've got different triad shapes, which we had a go at in the rhythm. We've got D minor pentatonic shape 1. Of course, shapes 1's there. We like to go down to this one if you followed my program. We've also got this shape down here. That's all D minor pentatonic. And then we want to pay particular attention to playing an A7 arpeggio over the A chord. We also have that same A7 or A chord. There's the 7 note. This is just A major. Back to D minor pentatonic. For example, we'll show you the full example solo, but there's no substitute here for just having a go, pulling back when you're unsure, and then adding more when you feel confident enough to do so. More learning materials will be down below. Best of luck with this one, guys. Have a go.